There is a smell inside your refrigerator right now. Maybe you noticed it the last time you opened the door. Maybe you have gotten so used to it that you stopped noticing it all. That second one is actually the more dangerous situation. Here is something worth thinking about. Your refrigerator is where you store everything your family eats. Every piece of fruit, every leftover, every ingredient that eventually ends up on your dinner table. And yet a study published in a peer-reviewed food science journal found that 87.5% of household refrigerators test positive for bacteria, mold, or fungal contamination. Not a few, not the dirty ones. Nearly 9 out of every 10 refrigerators sitting in ordinary kitchens, in ordinary homes, right now. That smell you are used to is not stale air. It is bacterial gas. As microorganisms break down food residue inside your refrigerator, they release volatile compounds into the enclosed space. Those compounds settle onto every surface. They transfer onto your fresh groceries. They circulate every time you open the door. The smell is evidence of a process that does not stop just because you close the door and walk away. In Japan, refrigerators do not smell like this. And the reason has nothing to do with what Japanese families eat or how often they shop. It comes down to a single material that has been used in Japanese homes for over 300 years, and a way of thinking about the refrigerator that the rest of the world has completely missed. Before we get into what Japan does differently, we need to talk about what most people are currently doing. Because the standard approach to a smelly refrigerator is not just ineffective. In some cases, it is making the problem worse. The first thing most people reach for is a box of baking soda. You put it in the back of the fridge, leave it there for 6 months, and assume the problem is handled. Here is what actually happens. Baking soda is an alkaline compound. It neutralizes acidic odor molecules by chemically reacting with them. The problem is that not all refrigerator odors are acidic. Bacteria release a wide range of volatile compounds, some acidic, some not. Baking soda only addresses one category. The rest of the odor molecules float right past it. And because a standard box has limited surface area, even the acidic molecules it is supposed to catch rarely come into contact with enough of the powder to make a real difference. America's Test Kitchen ran a controlled smell test comparing baking soda and activated charcoal in identical refrigerators over 1 month. Participants consistently rated the baking soda fridge as the worst-smelling appliance. Every single time. Then there are the scented products. Fridge deodorizer discs, scented gels, clip-on fresheners. These do not remove odors. They layer synthetic fragrance on top of them. You are not eliminating the bacterial compounds. You are adding more chemicals to the enclosed space where your food is stored. Open a container of leftover soup next to one of those scented discs and tell me it still tastes the same. And then there is the cleaning approach that most people consider thorough. Wipe down the shelves with a damp cloth. Throw out anything that looks questionable. This addresses the visible surface. It does not address the gasket seals around the door, the drainage channel at the back, the vegetable drawer grooves, or the underside of the glass shelves where residue accumulates out of sight and bacteria multiply undisturbed for months. The odor keeps coming back because the source was never actually reached. Japan approached this problem from a completely different direction, not by masking the smell, not by neutralizing one category of odor molecule, by eliminating the conditions that allow the smell to form and persist in the first place. In Shinto tradition, which has shaped Japanese culture for over 2,000 years, the kitchen is considered sacred space. There is a specific kitchen deity in Japanese belief called Kojin, the god of the hearth and cooking fire. The space where food is prepared and stored is not just functional. It is sacred. You do not leave sacred space to accumulate bacteria and emit odors. You maintain it as an act of respect. This is not abstract history. It has practical consequences in how Japanese households treat the refrigerator on a daily basis. Where the Western approach is reactive, clean when it smells, the Japanese approach is preventive. Maintain the conditions so the smell never forms. The material at the center of that prevention has a name that most people outside Japan have never heard. It is called Binchotan. Binchotan is a type of charcoal that has been produced in the Kyushu region of Wakama Prefecture in Japan since the Edo period, roughly 300 years ago. It is made from yubame oak, fired in traditional kilns at extremely high temperatures, then rapidly cooled under sand and ash. The result is a form of carbon so dense and so porous that if you tap two pieces together, They produce a metallic ringing sound instead of a dull thud. That density is the entire point. The internal structure of Binchotan charcoal contains millions of microscopic pores. The combined surface area of those pores in a single stick of Binchotan is extraordinary, enough to absorb odor-causing molecules across a wide range of chemical types, not just the acidic ones that baking soda targets. It does not react with odor compounds. It physically traps them. And because it is pure carbon with no added chemicals, it releases nothing back into the air around your food. Japanese households have placed Binchotan in their refrigerators for generations. Not as a product, not as a gadget, as a natural material that does what no spray or synthetic disc can do. Silently absorb the full spectrum of bacterial gases from the air inside the fridge continuously, without any chemical interaction with the food stored next to it. Now here is how to use this method properly, because placement matters more than most people realize. Take 2 to 3 sticks of Binchotan charcoal, each around 15 to 20 centimeters long. Before placing them in the fridge, rinse them under cold water and allow them to air dry completely. This activates the surface and clears any dust from the pores. Place 1 stick on the main shelf, ideally near the center of the fridge where air circulation is strongest. Place a second one in the vegetable drawer, which is typically the highest humidity zone and the most active source of bacterial odor. If you have a large refrigerator, a third stick on the bottom shelf covers the lower cold zone. That is the entire setup. Leave them in place for 3 months. After 3 months, take the sticks out, place them in direct sunlight for several hours. The ultraviolet light from the sun purges the trapped molecules from the pores, regenerating the charcoal completely. Then place them back in the fridge and start again. 1 set of Binchotan sticks, properly maintained, lasts for years. But the charcoal alone is only half of the Japanese method. The other half is the deep clean that the charcoal cannot do for you, clearing the hidden corners that standard wiping never reaches. Start with the door gasket. Run your finger along the rubber seal around the fridge door. Feel the grooves. Now look at what comes off on your finger. That dark residue is a combination of mold, food particles, and bacteria that accumulate in the folds of the seal every time you open and close the door. Mix 1 part white vinegar with 1 part water in a spray bottle. Spray the gasket thoroughly and use an old toothbrush to work into every fold of the rubber. The acetic acid in vinegar kills mold and bacteria on contact without leaving any chemical residue that would affect food. Next, remove every drawer and shelf. Every single one. Fill your sink with warm water and add half a cup of white vinegar. Submerge the drawers and let them soak for 15 minutes. While they soak, spray the inside walls, ceiling, and floor of the empty refrigerator with the same vinegar solution. Wipe down with a clean cloth, working from the top of the fridge downward. Bacteria do not clean themselves off surfaces, but they do not survive in an acidic environment. White vinegar creates that environment without leaving anything harmful behind. Now find the drainage hole. On most refrigerators, this is a small opening at the back interior of the fridge, usually at the bottom. This is where condensation drains away. It is also one of the most commonly overlooked sources of fridge odor. Bacteria accumulate in the drain channel and produce odor compounds continuously. Take a cotton swab dipped in the vinegar solution and clean the opening thoroughly. If your fridge model allows access to the drain tray beneath the unit, pull it out, empty it, and clean it with the same solution. This step alone often eliminates a persistent odor that has survived every other cleaning attempt. Dry all surfaces with a clean cloth before replacing the drawers and shelves. Damp surfaces are where bacteria re-establish themselves. The interior of your refrigerator should be completely dry before anything goes back in. Once the deep clean is done and the Binchotan is in place, the third layer of this method is the daily habit that prevents the odor cycle from starting again. In Japan, this habit is called Mottainai. It is a philosophy of not wasting, and in a practical kitchen sense, it means nothing stays in the fridge past the point of usefulness. Food does not sit forgotten until it becomes a source of bacterial gas. Every item has a place and a purpose, and it is removed when that purpose is finished. You do not need to adopt an entirely different relationship with food to apply this principle. You simply need to check the fridge once a week, remove anything that is beginning to turn, and wipe down any spill the moment it happens rather than letting it dry into a residue that bacteria colonize over the following days. Fresh spill, clean cloth, 30 seconds. That is the Mottainai principle applied to a refrigerator. The mess never gets the chance to become a source of odor. Here is the complete maintenance routine. Once, as a starting point, do the full deep clean. Gaskets, drawers, walls, drainage hole, drain tray. Vinegar solution throughout. This is the reset. Immediately after, place Binchotan sticks in the main compartment and vegetable drawer. Every week, spend 2 minutes checking for anything past its point of usefulness. Remove it. Wipe any residue with a damp cloth. Every 3 months, take the Binchotan sticks out and place them in direct sunlight for a full day. Return them to the fridge that evening. Once every 3 months, repeat the vinegar wipe down of the main interior surfaces. That is the entire system. The charcoal handles the ongoing air quality. The vinegar clears bacteria from surfaces. The Mottainai habit prevents new sources from forming. 3 layers, working continuously, the way Japanese households have maintained clean kitchen spaces for centuries. Here is what this costs. A set of Binchotan charcoal sticks runs between $8 and $15 depending on where you buy them and how many sticks come in the pack. Properly maintained, that same set lasts 2 to 3 years before it needs replacing. A large bottle of white vinegar costs under $2. Cotton swabs you already have. Compare that to the baking soda boxes that need replacing every 3 months at $2 each, $8 a year, and still leave most of the odor problem untouched. Compare it to the scented deodorizer discs at $5 a pack, replaced monthly, that add synthetic fragrance to the air around your food without addressing a single bacteria. The Japanese method costs less, works longer, and actually solves the problem at the source rather than working around it. There is a larger principle here that goes beyond the refrigerator. In Japan, the concept of shokunin describes the idea of taking genuine care with the tools and spaces of daily life. A shokunin, traditionally a craftsman or artisan, brings full attention to what they do, not because it is impressive, but because the quality of daily maintenance reflects the quality of daily life. You do not need to be a craftsman to apply that principle to your refrigerator. You simply need to stop treating it as an afterthought and start treating it as what it actually is, the space where everything your family eats is stored, and a space that deserves the same attention you bring to cooking the food inside it. Your refrigerator does not need a chemical spray or a synthetic disc or another box of baking soda that sits in the corner doing half a job. It needs a deep clean with white vinegar, 2 sticks of Binchotan charcoal placed where the air actually circulates, and 2 minutes of attention each week to stay that way. That is the Japanese method, and your refrigerator will not smell like this again. If this gave you a different way of thinking about the spaces where your food lives, subscribe. Next week, we are covering the Japanese method for removing black mold from washing machine drum seals permanently, the problem hiding inside 9 out of 10 homes that almost nobody thinks to address. That video is on screen right now.